What's up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Monster Legends and how I feel the game can be improved, because as fun of a game as this is, it definitely has a lot of flaws, and I want to point a few of them out today. So yeah, let's get going. So the first thing that I want to talk about is ranking up monsters, how I feel it should be a little bit easier or at least more accessible. So let's go ahead and take a look at the dungeons. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you know how this works, and you need this resource called Ludum to rank up monsters of the Corrupted era, which is the one that's going on now, or, earlier eras, the original Mythic era or the Cosmic era. You need Ludum now, basically, to rank up your monsters, and the game simply doesn't have enough ways to get this Ludum, or at least, in the quantities that you need to rank up your monsters to high levels. Like, to get a monster to rank 5, you need, I believe it's 8,900 Ludum, right? And that's from rank 0, so like an unranked monster all the way up to rank 5. And that's a lot of Ludum. And, with a number that high, you can kind of assume that it's going to take a while, and it certainly does in this game. That's the biggest issue I have at the moment, because now we'll go into the Mythic Dungeons. This is usually where we also had Mythic Amber dungeons and Stardust dungeons that gave 75, assuming that you had monsters that were ranked up high enough to actually complete the dungeons every day. But those are removed now, and the only ones we have are the Ludum dungeon, which only gives a total of 30 maximum Ludum, and that's kind of ridiculous, first and foremost, for reasons we'll discuss in just a moment. And then we had the Titan dungeon, which is not available right now. It's only available, I believe, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that gives a maximum of 1,200 Ludum a week, if you can actually finish the entire challenge, which is surviving 15 rounds, which was increased from the previous 10 rounds. And the Ludum rewards per day were basically decreased from 450 to 400. So those were basically the only ways to get Ludum, and even assuming you get 1,200 every single week, it's just not viable to level up monsters fast enough to actually kind of enjoy things a little bit, because we have a ton of really new monsters coming out, really new exciting monsters to play around with. We have King Charmless, we have Yao Guai, we have Jakuna Heat, which was just the new maze monster that just became available to get. And I'm assuming a lot of you just got him because of the 30% discount at the 1 day and 18 hour mark. And we also have other monsters, Wormhole coming out, the Tails Challenge. We also have, just what else? What else do we have? We also have Kudai Kage, the marathon monster, and the list goes on. There's so many monsters to rank up and just not enough resources going around to rank them up. And the fact that the Ludum dungeon, the Titan dungeon specifically, has been buffed, it just makes the likelihood actually, of most players getting a lot of Ludum on a consistent basis even lower. So yeah, that's the first thing, is just to fix that. Also, let's take a look at the Ludum dungeon that is available every day. And again, we mentioned that the total rewards are 30 at the very maximum. So if we go ahead and enter, we can take a look at what this is. And it turns out that you have 6 floors to complete that you can potentially go through every single day, but they have heavily enforced restrictions on them. More specifically, ranks that are required. So you need rank 3 monsters starting from floor 4 to even attempt the dungeon. Floor 5, you need rank 4 monsters. And floor 6, you need a full team of rank 5 corrupted monsters to actually do this challenge. And we just mentioned how long it takes to get those monsters in the first place, up to rank 5. So the requirements to even be able to complete this dungeon are astronomically high, and they shouldn't be this high. There should be no, in my opinion, there should be absolutely no reason that you have any kind of rank requirements for this dungeon, because it only gives 30 Ludum, and it's like, that's a heck of a lot of restrictions for something that only gives 30 Ludum. So either make the reward a lot greater, like make, the floors give a lot more Ludum, like the final floor should give, like, I don't know, 150, even more, if you're requiring level 5 or higher monsters to get through, to get through them. Or just don't have the requirement, 30 Ludum a day for all players, assuming they can complete the challenge. That's what it should be. And as for the Titan dungeon, either just bring it back to the 10 rounds and 450 Ludum, because some players already were saying that it was hard enough to complete, and I do agree that you need to have monsters at a high enough rank to actually get through some of those. You need certain monsters, deniers, Fey Malice, for blind support, all that stuff. So, just bring it back to 10 rounds and 450 Ludum, or, do a different variation where if you're going to bring it up to 15 rounds, give more Ludum as the total prize, or make it, do an unlimited challenge. Do like a Titan dungeon with infinite rounds, and the first 10 give 450. Every round after that, the boss gets stronger, but you get additional Ludum for each additional round that you survive. So it's like there's no set amount. You could potentially win even more if you can survive like, 20, 30 rounds or something. I feel like that'd be something I'd really love to see. And yeah, I definitely, just let me know if you guys, what do you guys think of that idea? Do you support the idea? Do you not? What are your ideas about the Titan dungeon, the Ludum? Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing all of that. So anyways, moving on. You can see that, like, the next thing that I want to talk about is relics and runes, equipping them more specifically, and the costs that are required to remove the runes. So let's and again the relics. So you can take a look. I can't use this right now, but you can hit equip, and yeah, you can see. Well, we just have a default monster here. We have Fey here. And you can see that I have some relics equipped. So if I go ahead and click on that, just a second here. If I go ahead and click on that, you can see that it says, what do you want to do with this rune? So you can potentially remove the rune for 10 gems, or swap it out for a rune that is of equal level. And this is where the problems start, as far as, things that I don't really enjoy about the game. Because just think about it like in Pokemon. It's like if you have an EXP share or something like that attached to a Pokemon, and you want to give it to another Pokemon, what do? You just unequip it, put it back in your bag, and then you can use it on any other Pokemon you want. There's no fee, there's no charge, there's no restriction. So I feel like this is just really annoying and totally unnecessary. I feel like what should happen here is you should just be able to switch the runes out at ease. Like if Social Point just wants to keep the requirement for unlocking rune slots gems, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Like, you just have a random generated monster. It either has 1 to 3 rune slots unlocked already when it hatches. That's totally fine. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, I really feel like it should be free. So I think, just to break down the the equipping kind of mechanisms really briefly. I think up to rune level 3, and it only costs gold to take off. So usually whenever I have to put runes onto monsters and I don't want to waste gems, I usually equip only level 3 runes, because then I can just get them off for gold, and gold is much easier to come by in this game than gems. But yeah, realistically what this would mean is, seeing as we have to kind of pay gems to unequip anything that's over level 4, is usually, you want like level 10 runes on your monsters, because those are like some of the highest levels in the game, right? Aside from the super runes and all that stuff. And so usually I have to give my monster rank 10 runes. So it's like, just to make sure that if I do any switches in the future, it's all going to be for free. And I feel like, again, this is totally unnecessary. It's ridiculous to charge. And I think to take off level 10 runes, it takes 25 gems per rune. So that's just, it's not necessary. Again, if I want to experiment around with runes, if I want to kind of just give them to another monster, there should not be any restriction. It should just be free equipping, free unequipping. Yeah, that's basically it. So now, in a similar light, we can go ahead and take a look at the relics. And you have a similar idea here. If you go to equip, same thing with obscure talents and relics. If you want to unequip, if you want to equip a relic, that's fine. Again, it doesn't charge anything to put it on. But if you want to unequip a relic, that's when you actually have to pay. So let's say, I have Laser Beam Sword on here, right? And I think Scherzar's Amulet. And I also have, I think, Barkhide on my Lady Meow right now. So if I want to take these off, I would literally, you can just click the X and you can see it takes gold. Now this isn't as bad. This isn't as bad as the runes, because gold, again, is a pretty easy to access resource in this game, especially if you have like a farm, mythic farm, legendary farm, pandakin farm. You have the gold to take it off usually. But again, this slows the game down, because what if you don't have the gold at some point? It's just not necessary. I feel like you should be able to unequip and equip relics and runes at will. You should just be able to do it whenever you want to without any kind of charge, just kind of like in, another any other like fighting game that you can think of, specifically like Pokemon or something popular. The Pokemon hold items, but you don't have to pay anything to take them off. There's no hassle involved. And it should be the same for this game. I really believe that. So yeah, this would definitely speed up the game a little bit. It would feel a lot less restricted, because to be honest with you, a lot of things in this game require waiting or things of that nature, and it just doesn't really make me very happy sometimes. So yeah, what's the next thing I want to talk about? Multiplayer, right? More specifically, the chests in these games. So you can see here that we have 3 slots by default, right? So basically what happens in this game, for those of you who are unaware, and if you are, please bear with me when I explain this, but yeah, you basically fight a bunch of battles in multiplayer, and each time you are successful, you get a random chest, like egg chest or something that has monster cells and other prizes in it. And you can only hold up to 3 at a time. You can rent another slot, but it's not permanent. And if you, let's say you have 3 eggs already and you get another one, it offers you, it says, okay, your slots are full. Would you like to open it now? And I feel like that shouldn't be the option. You're only allowed to unlock 1 egg at a time. So what I feel should happen is, let's say, you have like 3 level 1 chests and you get like a rank 6, a tier 6, or even a tier 7 that you just want to keep. And you can't, right? It's like, okay, you open it now, the game gives you the option. You open it now or you lose the egg. I feel like it shouldn't be that way. I feel like it should be, okay, you have 2 eggs that you're not unlocking. Would you like to replace one of the other eggs that you currently have with the new one? As long as you're not unlocking it, I feel like the game should give you that option. So let's say, again, you have some lower level eggs, you come across a rank 6, tier 6, and then it's like, and it should ask you, okay, do you want to replace one of your other eggs with this one? And if you say yes, you select which one you want to throw out, you replace that egg with the one you just got. Okay, I feel like that is just way better. It's just way more, it makes the game more accessible. It just feels a lot better because it feels like you can actually keep the eggs that you hatch, and you don't just or the eggs that you get in the multiplayer, like in the mode when you're playing it, and you don't have to just lose out on the egg. I feel like that really pissed me off. So yeah, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Again, I think this is a change that if they implement it, it would really, really do wonders in the game. It would allow you to not really, it would allow you to go into multiplayer without being a little bit frantic, saying, oh, okay, like, I don't have another slot open. What if I get a rank 7 now? It doesn't leave things as much up to chance because you can just keep going through the game until you get the ones you want. I really feel like that would be a huge improvement over what we have now. And finally, the thing that I want to talk about is, here we are, the Monster Lab. Okay, so like what kind of change do I want to poke at here? As I previously stated, a lot of things in this game require waiting, and this is no exception. Every single time you rank up a monster, you craft a monster, you have to wait, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with, however, is when, let's just take a look at the crafting, right? So we're crafting monsters here, and it says available, locked, and locked. And what I feel like, and now you can rent a pod. You can rent it and pay however many gems. I think it's like 25 for legendaries or mythics or whatever, to rent the pod if you want to unlock more than one monster at a time. And I feel like there should be a way to permanently unlock another slot. Like maybe if you level up the Monster Lab, you get an additional slot. Or you can buy another slot for gems, but it stays there permanently, allowing you to basically craft more than one monster at a time for no additional tolls. And in a similar fashion, also the rank ups, right? If you're ranking up a monster, it takes, over a day to do usually, like 1 day and 59 minutes or something like that. And it would be really, really, really helpful to be able to upgrade more than one at a time, right? Kind of like the hatchery. You start off with only 1, but you can actually upgrade the hatchery to hold up to 4 monsters at a time. And if you have the Golden Legends Pass, you can even get 5 at a time, right? Which is helpful for not having to like speed things up and just have, you have more room in general. And, for some reason you can't do that with the Monster Lab, right? You have to literally only rank up 1 monster at a time. And I feel like being able to do this, simultaneously up to 4 monsters at a time, that would really solve things a lot. It would keep players up to speed and kind of allow players to move at the pace that the game is moving at. Because again, we have a lot of monsters coming out, right? There's not enough resources going around to rank them up as fast, and it's also it's just a hassle having to wait for everything, because you have to wait for the mythic habitats to unlock. Like upgrading habitats takes over a day, even with the building bonus of the Golden Legends Pass, and overall, it's just a heck of a lot of waiting that I feel isn't really necessary, right? So in this aspect, of the game, I feel like they should really just implement something where you can buy additional slots for rank ups, buy additional slots for crafting monsters. Not necessarily like, it could be for gems, it could be for gold maybe. I mean, even if it were for gems, I think it would still be worth it. But yeah, or maybe even just give it to the players for free when they rank up the monster lab, something like that. Just anything that allows us to kind of unlock more than one monster at a time, rank up more than one monster at a time. Even extracting, I think you can do, what is it, more than one at a time if you pay, but there should be a way to permanently unlock another slot up to 4. Why? Because then you don't have to wait as much. We have so many monsters coming out. Again, Yao Guai, right? Jiaku Heat, which just had that event, the maze event, the happy hour this morning, and so on and so forth. We have so many monsters I want to try out, but just so many restrictions on upgrading them, not enough Ludum, not enough resources, and yeah. So these were just a couple of things that I thought up off the top of my head. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear them as well. Please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching the video, and yeah, I mean, be sure to share this video if you found this video helpful, if you agreed. If you didn't agree, yeah, just leave a comment talking about leaving your feedback, and maybe share this video with your friends as well. Maybe if there are any things that you agree with in this video, it'd be good for enough people to see this, because maybe Social Point will take notice and actually implement these changes in the game so that we can have a more enjoyable experience for everybody. So yeah, thanks for watching once again, and I'm out. Peace.